Living your dream has never been more real, where every day is an escape from the hustle of the city to your own little paradise at Apollonia City. With development of a light industrial park covering the 200 acres of land and state-of-the-art infrastructure, some companies are already setting up. With over 100 acres also available for schools, shopping centers, parks and recreational activities, you can be sure that you're joining a dream community. So get a plot that suits you today, be it commercial, social, residential or light industrial, because your dream is only a phone call away. Give Apollonia City a call today to be part of Accra's new city. We can't wait to welcome you.
Hello, welcome. Moment of Truth. My name is Nadia Sean.
I'm David.
And today our wonderful guest is Minister Arnold Fair. And we'll give him the opportunity. He has been on the program before. We'll give him the opportunity to say a little bit about himself. US.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a blast last time. Last time we talked about it was gifts.
Yes.
My name is Arnold. I live in Virginia, married with 3 kids. Go to Miracle Temple Assembly. It's here, Silver only. One of the musicians actually I'm my director.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate the opportunity to have you as our guest. And we're talking about being thankful. So this whole month, we're talking about being thankful. We have opportunity to talk about we are blessed and highly favored. So with God on our side, we are definitely highly favored. So
Thank you very, very much. So, if you're out there and you're watching us, please share. You can also give us your comments and your suggestions on Facebook. Also, remember to tell us what you're thankful for, because of course this is a month to be thankful. So, Minister Arnold, what does it mean to be thankful? When we say someone is thankful or you're being thankful, what does it mean to you?
Being thankful as a Christian, we are commanded to be thankful at all times. But for me, the concept of gratitude is it's a mystery. It's a key at the same time. It's a mystery because a mystery is something that works, but it's inexplicable. You can't really explain how it works, but it works. And it's a key because Thanksgiving or being thankful is that key that connects your yesterday to your tomorrow. So basically, Thanksgiving is always triggered off by an event. Somebody does something for you. There is a need to go back and acknowledge what the person did for you. And from a posture of being grateful, from a posture of saying, hey, I appreciate what you did for me. And Bible requires that we do that. But even beyond that, it's something that cuts across all religion, all peoples, even in the animal kingdom, believe you or not, there's a level of gratitude that they exude amongst themselves. There's a story about a guy who served this king. Oh, is that me? That's Siri.
Siri is saying it doesn't find anything.
It can't find.
Siri cannot find what you're talking about.
Siri cannot find what I'm talking about. So there was this guy who served this king for about 10 years, and this king was known. He had these huge, I think it was 18 of them dogs, and any time you did something against the king, he would throw you to the dogs. And the dogs will kill you and maul and eat you. And this servant that I had served him for 10 years, and so the servant said something about the king. He didn't like it, so he told him throw him to the dogs. So the servant comes to the king and say, listen, I've served you 10 years. At least give me 10 days, and then you can throw me into the dogs, or with the dogs. So the servant went to the person that feeds the dogs and said, hey, can I feed the dog for the next 10 days?
Oh, what a wise man.
Exactly. So the guy says, that's kind of weird. He said, yeah. I said, okay, go ahead and do that. So he will feed the dogs, clean them up, smell them or have them smell him, all for the 10 days. So after the 10 days, the king says, okay, your time is up. So we need to throw you into the,
Dog pen.
in the dog pen.
Kind of.
So they threw him to the dog pen, and the king is standing there, and the dogs are licking his face, and they are rubbing themselves against him, and the king is like, what is going on? So the guy says, well, king, I served you for 10 years, and for something that I said wrong, for all those 10 years, you were never grateful. I served these dogs for 10 days, and they are showing their appreciation to me. So in a way, being gratitude, it's something that should be natural. That's across all types of peoples, cultures,
Even
religions.
animals are
Even
showing
the
gratitude.
animals.
Oh,
Shows
wow, what a story.
gratitude. That is good story, and I think it just touched the heart and mind of anybody who realize that sometimes we are unappreciative
Right.
when somebody does something to us, and we forget. We forget all the good things that they have done for us. We always remember the bad part. We always have our book down. We're writing. Oh, do you remember last year you did this? But you forgot that 10 years ago or 20 years ago they did something good for you. So
That's really true. This story really, I don't think anybody watching us will forget this story in a long time to come. So looks like we only want to do things that have benefits. So can we think of any benefits that anyone will have because of thankfulness? Why should anyone be thankful? What would they benefit from being thankful?
Remember the lepers that were healed by Jesus. When it comes to Thanksgiving, they are like the prime story we always think about. But it is true because, in a sense, that the one that came back to Jesus was the one whose healing was made whole. So the benefit of him coming back, and actually, when you read the Bible, it says that he was not a Jew. So the Jews who should have gotten the concept of Thanksgiving didn't come back. Why? But the one that came back, his healing was made whole. So one of the benefits that you get is complete. How should I say? Let me put it this way. So somebody does something for you, and you come back and you say thank you. What you are doing is that you are setting another platform for him to do something for you tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's the
To
kind
get
of
more
benefit.
coming.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So at Thanksgiving, it's also a multiplier in the sense that you remember when Jesus had to feed the 5,000. Bible says when he broke the bread and he gave thanks. So in the process of the Thanksgiving, there was multiplication. So to come back and say thank you or to offer Thanksgiving, you are basically linking your past event into future occurrence to something that could be done for you again.
good. That's good. What are some of the things that we have to be thankful for? So sometimes in our human mind, we said, okay, if God gave me a house, I'll be thankful for it. If He gave me a husband, I'll be thankful for it. Like we want the big things.
If I'm alive.
Yes, the big. If it's not big enough, we don't think it's worthy to be grateful or be thankful for it.
We have to be thankful for everything, basically. Bible says that in all things, be thankful. So you have to be thankful for the bad thing that is happening to you, not because of the bad thing that is happening to you, but because of the fact that you know that God is in the situation and that He is able to get you out of that situation. You are being thankful. I'm thankful. But to come back to answer your question, who should we be thankful for? Or what was it who or what?
What should we be thankful
What? Oh,
What are some of the things that we need to be thankful for?
For everyday life, for our spouses, for our relationships. Things that we take for granted in a relationship are gratitude in relationship. I mean, you take your husband for granted and your wife for granted.
You feel like you have a right.
Please don't do that.
You have a right.
You feel like, you know, we
You're
live
entitled,
together.
kind of.
I'm
Yes.
entitled. Exactly.
I marry you.
You know. But that simple statement of thank you goes a long way,
Yes.
you know. But also, we have to be thankful to God, first of all. But you see, God always uses people to bless us.
It's true.
God never comes down and say, hey, you prayed for this thing, so here
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
use somebody.
That's true.
So we have to be thankful to one another, and even be thankful for the people who hurt us.
Wow.
Because these experiences we go through in life that we don't realize that they shape us for our next level. So these people who at the time we think, you know, we don't see eye to eye, they're giving us hard time, they're persecuting us. They are building your defenses, such that next time you come upon something bigger,
You're ready.
you're ready. So,
Yeah.
you know, you have to be thankful for everything,
Even the bad thing.
even the bad things too. Yes.
And that's hard as Christian because, you know, in our Christian mind, we pre-program ourselves for good things. And even though we pray for God to help us, when bad things happen, we seem to be a shock, like, God, how can it happen to me? Why me? And I'm thinking in my head, if not you, then who else? You know, it has to be you for you to appreciate. Because sometimes people give their testimony, they talk about the struggles, the challenges they're going through, and you're sitting back, and sometimes you're just like, how? You know, as a Christian, the first reaction is like, thank God. You know, thank God that God has been the one to, you know, literally take them through the challenges to the point where they are, that they can give testimony. So even as a Christian, you're going through challenging that, be thankful. Because that is about, it builds your faith. It builds your faith and your character. And allow you to understand that God is the one in control of your life, not you. You see?
Another dimension to that too, to add to what you said, that sometimes, you know, when we pray, God answers prayer, even when the answer doesn't come the way we want. There was a story that I heard, I think it was just last week, about a church in Nigeria. There was a lady in the church that was she was a devout member of the church. She was there all the time doing stuff when we needed her. And a man of God came to the church and then gave her a prophecy and said, you know, in 3 months, somebody will come and marry you. So indeed, in 3 months, somebody came from Spain to visit a relative in the church. So one thing led to the other. Guy said, I'll marry you. So within a short time, few months, they got a wedding thing going. And then on the wedding day, bride is ready, bridegroom could not be found.
Hey.
They waited and waited and waited.
What? It's not a runaway room.
And they had the lady stay in the car outside. Even the parents couldn't figure out where
The guy was.
the guy was. So eventually they found out that the guy had left the country. Yeah, left the country. And 5 years later, and this lady was devastated for years. She wanted to quit the faith. It was a disgrace.
Oh,
You know,
serious.
it is serious,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Left at
Mental
the altar.
health.
Left
Yes.
at the altar, yes. So 5 years later, she's calmed down and everything. Another guy comes into the church, a young guy, and said, I'll marry you. And then she said yes. And he married her. Now, he happened to be going to a meeting in Spain. So he takes her along, say, come on, let's do this trip. They go hooked up in a 5-star hotel. And they go downstairs for dinner. And the person who is serving them the dinner is that guy who ran away. Okay. So the guy sees her and he just, you know, Nigerians can be very dramatic when he falls down, holds her
Falls
knee,
out.
and said, please forgive me. And he says something to her. He said, I realized, you know, that I was not good enough for you. I realized I knew what I was doing here. And I knew the caliber of person you were when I've talking to you, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I would have hurt you more. And now see what has happened, you know. So I said this to say, in 5 years, she was struggling and thinking God has done her bad, something, you know, but God had answered the prayer. But going through that time to be able to say thank you at the time was
Right.
difficult.
Mhm.
But hindsight 2020,
Right.
she was grateful it happened. So sometimes God answers prayer, and we need to be thankful, well, regardless of what the situation.
That is true. I think it just brings a concept in mind of even the Israelites in the wilderness, or when people go through tough times, or when challenges happen, as Christian, that God is working things out, not in the the physical realm that we see, but in the spiritual realm. So that at the end of the day, you will not say, "My God doesn't love me." My God
Yes.
loves you. That's why He takes you out of the enemy's way.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Is it possible to think, we talk about how bad situation, but most times, most people look at it and we are thankful for people and God. But sometimes people get confused. Like, are we thankful for God for using people? Are we thankful for people? Because sometimes people, because sometimes you are like, oh, thank you. And then you realize that you become a people pleaser
Yeah.
because you're really thanking people, but God is using the people. So along the line, do you even give thanks to God for using the people so that God will continue to bless the people that God has used in your life?
Yeah, it has to be both. It has to be both because, God, like I said, God uses people.
Mm-hmm.
And where we come from, the place we come from, again, especially with the Ashantis, the way we take Thanksgiving is to a different level altogether. When somebody does something for you, you say thank you. But the next day you have to call and say thank you.
Of course.
Or even sometimes they would even have to go to the person's house to say thank
Thank you.
or present a gift to the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a human expectation. Jesus was God, 100% God, 100% man. The aspect of Jesus where he asked, where is the rest of the lepers, was not the divine or the divinity portion of Jesus. It was the human um, person of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So the expectation was there. And I think that it's something that we are born into. And so the expectation has to be met. If I do something for you, even though God uses me to do something for you, I may not know that God is using me as maybe
Answer to your
an
prayers.
answer to your
prayers.
prayer.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm expecting you to come back and say thank you.
Thank you.
So it go both ways. We expect to be acknowledged, but you have to also give God a thanks because you know that God used me. I may not know that, like I said, I'm an answer to your prayer. So it has to be both.
Amen.
One of our guests said something, I think it corresponds to what you said. He said, I recently thought of writing a thank you note to the people who turned against me in my darkest moment because without their persecution, I would not be where I am today.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think that is hard, even as Christian, because you want, in your darkest moment, you want people to be
For you.
surrounding around you. And when people turn against you, it breaks your heart. But if you sit back and you can, at later time, just see them for what it is. I think
Yeah.
it's just a grace. It's God's grace. And so thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that.
Yeah, and whoever wrote that, remember that when you're thanking these people, you should do it with a heart of gratitude. If you are not really at that place where you are genuinely thankful for them, don't write the note yet because it will sound different.
Right.
But if genuinely in your heart you are thankful that God has used them to bring you this far and you can wish them well, then of course go ahead and write the note. And that reminds me of when I first did national service. And the company I worked in, the man was very, very rich. And one thing we noticed with him was the people who are always criticizing seem to be the people that he always calls on to look at. Like he'll give something to someone to do, and then he'll give it to a critic, somebody who always sees something bad. He'll give it to that person and say, "What do you think about it?" And you know that person is going to tear it down. So it used to be a concern, but then at some point in time, he just gave us a glimpse into why he does that. And he said, if your own critic criticizes it, you'll be able to fix it before you take it outside.
Yeah.
And so that's why he seems to be giving bonuses and things to those critics because he saw what they were doing. And we were thinking those critics were rather enemies of progress, but he saw them as the people who were actually helping him. So being thankful is having a mindset that sees everything, the positive parts in everything, and then your heart will be thankful for them. So if you are thankful, yes, you should be. Please write that note.
Wow. I think the heart is the hardest part when it comes for being thankful.
Thankful.
You know, because you can say your mouth, I'm thankful, but your heart is like, ooh, ooh. You just want to be like, you know, because you have to be there with just not your heart, but your mind, your soul.
So
Everything
everything.
has to be connected to saying the word I am thankful for. And I think that's why some of the people don't say I'm thankful for something. Because they feel like they deserve more.
Yeah.
And so when they have given something, they feel like this is not what I want. It's like giving somebody a present. I remember when my siblings were young, and they'll write a list, like a wish list. You know, Christmas, you write a wish list, and then you get like one or two things out of the wish list, and it's like, is that all?
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the human nature. We will be like, is that all? God, I wanted a big house, and you only give me a 3-bedroom. I wanted a 10-bedroom house.
Yeah.
And I think that mentality that we have in the world really clouded our genuine relationship with God, and we don't feel the God's blessing. How highly favored we are.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Are there any people that naturally we should think about thanking? Are there people in your life or in our lives that you think generally we should be thinking about thanking these people? You mentioned spouses that we take for granted.
Mhm.
Are there other people that really we should all be thanking before we look at other things?
I think your parents, if they're
Our parents.
alive, if you have access to your parents, show them gratitude all the time, because they don't get that enough, um, or especially if they are elderly and they are not with you. Um, it's good to show them your appreciation, and that can be done in several ways. Like you rightly said, it's one thing saying it,
Mhm.
but even goes a little further when you
Show it.
show it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Show your love.
Show
Show
your
your
love.
love.
Show your love. Show. So parents,
Mhm.
parents, and even we parents have to be able to thank our kids. You know, we always expect them to, like the 12-year-old. You know, you do something for him, you expect him to say thank you, right? But he also does things that you should
Oh,
be able to
yes.
say
And,
thank
and he
you.
will call you up one day.
He'll
He
call
said,
upon-
he
exactly.
said, Mom, you didn't say thank you.
Exactly.
And I have to pause for a second and say,
Yes.
what?
Yes.
He said, Mommy, I did something for you. You have to say thank you.
Yeah.
So those are the things, those are the relationships that our
Yeah.
kids want to have with us. And it also help them. So that when you call them on stuff, they'll realize that, yes, you are training them in the way that you want to be trained. So.
I remember when my boy was 4, I think it was 4 or 5, and his teacher did something. We went to Parents Teacher Association or something, and the teacher gave him something, and he came back, and my wife was like, "You didn't say thank you." I was like, "Say when Mr. Dalton, thank you." He said, "No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay," you know. And he was downplaying it. Then I said, "Mr. Dalton, he needs to say thank you." I mean, he's like, "Yeah, but not all the kids do that. It is fine." He said, "No, he's not fine.
Fine.
Allow
You
him
need
to
to
say
say
thank
thank
you."
you. Yes.
That's
That is our
yes,
upbringing. That's
the
our
way-
culture.
Yes,
Mhm.
you know. So, our kids, our parents, our kids, and our pastors,
Mm.
the people who are
Our shepherds.
Yes, right.
Yes.
They, you know, we have this 1 year pastors appreciation, and when it's over, it's over.
Mhm.
But they go through a lot.
They do.
You know, they say there's a saying that is lonely at the top.
Mhm.
He's really lonely at the top. So just saying a quick thank you, or he preaches a good message, you send him a text, "Pastor, your message was wonderful," or something. Simple things, but it goes a long way. So shepherds as well. Yep.
That's
Awesome.
good. That's
Awesome.
good.
Are there some reasons why people do not show that they are thankful? Sometimes people are thankful, but they are not able to show it. They have reasons. Can you think of any of those reasons? And if you have any of those reasons out there, share it with us on
Share it with
Facebook so
us.
we know. What are some reasons for which people are not able to say thank you? They might be thankful, but
They don't show it or they
Yeah.
don't say it.
Yeah. But how can he be thankful if you don't say it or you don't show it? I think the number one is the sense of entitlement. Like, I mean, it's mine, or it's due me, or you know, every morning on the prayer line when we get up praying at 5 o'clock, the first 15 minutes is just Thanksgiving, and then those that lead, they're always saying, you know, this people went to bed last night. Some people didn't get up. So when you're up, it's not a given that
It
you're
is.
supposed to be alive. Maybe the same people, the person who didn't make it is a Christian, born again. God loves him. Just
A
as
deal
much.
somewhere.
Yes,
Yes.
somewhere.
People are depending
Yeah.
on
people
him.
are depending.
Yes, a mother, a father.
You know, but then when the
child.
angel came down with that register for that day and said, oh, your name is
number
not
is not
here.
here.
I can't find you. I'm sorry, you gotta
gotta
go.
go.
But you are alive.
Alive.
So, you have to be thankful for life. But that sense of entitlement is what gets people into the box of not being grateful or thankful because they feel, yeah, it's. I mean, I'm up. Nobody was responsible for that. Or this is mine. You know, the Ashantis say that when something belongs to you, you can just take it
Take it
in
with
your
your
house.
left
Yeah,
hand.
with your left
So you
hand.
use your left
Yeah,
hand.
you
Really?
You just
mine.
collect it.
You just collect it.
In Africa, you don't use your left
Left
hand.
hand.
If it's
Yeah.
yours, you can take it
If
with your
it's
left
yours,
hand.
can take
Oh,
it.
really? I didn't know that
Oh yeah,
saying.
oh yeah. There's
Seriously.
so and it stems from that standpoint of it's mine, you know. And so when it's yours, you're not grateful. So that's people have that sense of entitlement, and that it's a dangerous way of thinking, you know, because closed doors. Thanksgiving open.
And that's a good way of looking at it. I think being thankful also humbles you, you know, to realize that somebody is in a position to help. You know, I think most times we feel like I don't need help. You know, and so if somebody is willing to stretch a helping hand, it causes you to stay back and figure out why is that person helping me? Why is that person being there for a support system? And that's what we're supposed to do as a Christian. We're supposed to be there for each other. So if you see a need, please help out. Don't feel like, oh, is this person, you know, sometimes we look at someone and say, oh, this person doesn't need my help. And it'll be something simple that the person needed. But because you feel like, oh, this person is too big. If I offer my help, they will look down upon me. So we don't even offer our help at all. And I think that is really our downfall. Because that's also your blessing. Because helping that person make the person realize that, wow, somebody is actually paying attention to me. And they are also there to support me if, when I need it. So.
And I like your humility part because sometimes it's possible people don't want to say thank you because then that requires you to accept that you needed, you got something that you did not deserve. So instead of saying thank you, they'll try to do something to over what that person did instead of saying thank you. Like not showing gratitude by trying to. So I like the humility part.
Yeah. And I think as Christian, I think our humility comes by not forgetting what somebody has done for us. Because it is easy to say somebody did something you forgot.
I think we all forget. I think that's another reason why we are not thankful. Forgetfulness. Yeah.
And I think the forgetfulness comes also with a sense of entitlement. Because you think what the person did was too small for you to remember. But if you take notice of every single thing, like, you know, they say count your blessing and name them one by one. It means that you have to stop and pause and say, who should I be thankful for today? I think some people go through a whole year and not thank anybody. Honestly, because they feel like they're too big. What do you do for me? What you did for me was important enough for me to acknowledge or even thank you. But if you can literally count your blessing and name them one by one, you realize the person who opened the door for you are there. You know, when you were coming to church, when you have things in your hands. Like sometimes you say somebody thank you and they're looking at you like, even in the elevator, you had two things in your hand and somebody pressed it. Say, what number are you? What floor are you going? It says 7. They press it. You're like, thank you. And they're looking at you like, you know, because everybody in the back of their mind, they have assumed that, you know, it's accepted. It's a protocol. And if the person doesn't press it, then you look at them with a mean eye like.
My favorite is when you're driving and then you don't really cut somebody off, but you come, like you overtake somebody and the person is angry, and then you just say thank you, and then you see that they slow down and like, okay, the girls, you know, it's rare. Like, okay, you know. So when I was teaching my son how to drive, I always told him, anytime you signal and you go and just raise your hand and just say thank you, you know. But to your point, I mean, another reason for us not expressing our gratitude is that we don't cultivate that habit of doing it. If it's, you know, if it's something you do it on a consistent basis, it becomes part and parcel of you. And then when it comes out, it's not from it's more of that is who you are. You know, the littlest things, the smallest things. You keep saying thank you. If you keep writing notes to your teachers, if you texting your parents, every now you form that habit. It becomes part and parcel of you. You're able to just do it much easier
And I think most times, people said, set a reminder to help you. If somebody bought you a birthday present, set a reminder to say thank you to them. If somebody remember to, do something, invite you to something, set a reminder. Because sometimes, like you say, we forget. But because we don't take notice, we don't initially say, okay, I'm going to do this. It's not arbitrary. It's not in our nature to do it. We have to set up reminders so that we can do it.
Yeah, and I think there could be other things we can do also to help us remember. I remember one of these days I was looking through an old journal and I saw some things. I was like, oh, yeah, I've forgotten about this person. When I first went to high school, some people helped. They did different things. I mean, that's so many years ago. You forget.
Yeah.
But looking through and seeing that, you're like, oh, how did I thank this person? Maybe at that time you just said thank you, but now you can still say thank you. I mean, it's not bad to say thank you several times, anytime we remember. So are there some things that you do to help you remember?
For me, the way I do it is as soon as that event is over, that help is over, I say thank you. And there are some that you have to go back after the fact to say thank you, to show your level of appreciation. Now, you have to be thankful at everything and with all people. However, there are certain things that that the help really came at the point where you needed it. It resolved an issue. And so just saying thank you for that moment with the person, going back and sending a note, it solidifies the fact that before the guy or before him, you are seriously grateful for what he did. And so what I do is I say thank you off the bat. But then I go back the next day or I just send a text and say, hey, for what you did for me yesterday, thank you. And it always, my boss, they don't understand the second day.
Thank you.
They
It's
don't.
kind of some way.
Yeah, they don't get it. But when I did, it was like, come on, man. I said it's okay. But guess what? Next time, he's looking for somebody to do something for.
He's looking for you.
Yeah.
It's like this one.
Yeah, exactly.
So thankful. Let me check him out.
But I mean, to your point, what do? I always say thank you off the back, so I don't forget. Journaling is fine, but if you journal once a week, and like you went back, you saw
I was
that.
just looking through my journals, and I'm like, oh yeah, this happened in high school.
And I think you said that we have the tendency to forget. It's
human nature.
It's human nature.
After 1 year, we forget everything that happened last year. I mean, every good thing that happened last year, we forget. We keep the bad ones in our heads.
Yes, because the bad ones tend to devastate us more than the good ones. We actually allow the bad ones to devastate us.
Yes.
We don't think about the bad ones as a stage in learning. We think about it like this is the crippling effect. I can't move. I can't do anything. But the bad ones are supposed to be a building block also to build our faith.
And also with us, talking about the bad ones, we hold on to the ingratitude much longer than the thank yous.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because when the person didn't call back, you register that.
Oh, yes.
And it's in your subconscious, whether you
like it or not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's there, sealed. And when the person asks you for next time when the opportunity comes for you to help, the first thing that comes, see, that's why in the Bible, they had the book of remembrance. For people who did things,
they just write it down.
Just write it down.
Yes.
And then they go back. So like Mordecai was able to unravel some coup that was going on at the gate and had Esther tell the king, and nothing was done to him. But because it was documented, at the point when he really needed the king's assistance, that came up, and so it's good to document. It's good to document. I mean, and like you said, I don't know if you went back to say thank you to your friend. You went back to say
I just go, oh, do you remember this? Thank you so much. I just saw it again. Oh, that's long ago. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think why sometimes people refer to being ungrateful or unthankful. Because sometimes we, like we talk about, we remember them, but we
say this
label
person is-
them. Like it becomes your label. Like it's a, oh, this child is ungrateful. And the whole entire time, because you say that, everybody expects that child to be ungrateful. Even when they do something, like, oh, this ungrateful child. We give people labels. And that is unbecoming of Christian. Please, if you do that, stop.
But it also shows you how seriously we take this thing called gratitude. Well, I mean, we don't play. You may not have anything, but somebody saying thank you is your due. So when it's not given you, you hold on to that. So if a child is not saying thank you, the child is labeled because we feel that that's a deficiency. No, but yeah, because
Whoa.
because for us it's a must. It's something that we grow up doing. It's something that we are Christians, so even more, Bible says we need to do that continuously and every day. So you have to exude that type of lifestyle, and if you don't, that means that something is not right. You know, so for a child like that, it's always good for you to start saying thank you to that child,
So that they will know
so
that
that
it's
they
expected.
will know it's expected.
You know, it's a charity begins at home. Train up a child in the way they should grow, and they never depart from it. So, if you are not saying thank you to your child, the child will think it's expected of them not to say thank you.
Yes.
You know, it's, you just did everything normal things for me. So why will I acknowledge that you say you do normal things? But if you're saying thank you, the child will be like, oh wow, you just acknowledged that somebody have done something.
Yeah.
Even when you expect it, you still appreciate it. So that is important. How do we show gratitude even when we don't have money? Because sometimes you feel like
You have to buy a big
yes,
gift.
yes.
A big
And sometimes when people have money, we get intimidated to give somebody who is rich a gift. It's
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you say, oh, this person doesn't need anything. Yeah.
That's why things like notes, or even the calling, or even paying a visit, going to the extent of going to the person's residence and say, hey, I just came to say thank you for the last time. You don't have to take any gift. That's just, in this country, we're busy, and everybody is busy. For you to take your time and drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or take a bus and hop on a train and go to the person's house,
it shows like
it
you are
it shows that,
dedicated.
yes,
Yes,
you really appreciate
it.
what the person did. So you don't have to necessarily buy. Buying something is good if you have the means, but like you rightly say, if the person is much richer than you, and you think the person what you're buying is not, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, then what you need to do is to be able to show up and say, hey, I really do appreciate this.
Yeah.
But we should never let the absence of money
Be an excuse.
be an excuse. So,
I don't have money. When I get
You-
money, I'll say, when I
And
get
when-
money, I'll go
and
and
And,
say,
and when you
Thank
get
you.
money, you forgot
forget.
all about
Forget
it.
about
You
that.
do. You really do. And I think also, most times, what really deter us is just how comfortable we are within ourselves. You know, if you feel uncomfortable, you don't want to go the extra mile. So you just pray that God gives you confidence that the person you're going to, don't look at them like you're look at them through God's eyes. That, you know, if you go there and say, you know what, thank you so much for doing, I really appreciate it. You answer my prayers. They may not be a Christian, but you even say answer their prayers, just like, oh, God has used me in somebody's life. And that will also motivate them. So just take every opportunity to share the gospel with people. Allow them to know that we are all connected some way of.
So is it too late? Let's say that you've gone through different stages of life and you never thanked anyone until now. So it feels like a big burden. Okay, if I have to go back and start thanking people since like,
As
so
far as
is
I
it too
remember.
late? Yeah, is it too late?
30 years later,
Okay.
she's coming to say
Yes,
thank
say
you. Like,
thank you.
really?
I think it depends. I mean, as far back as you can go, and it depends on the situation. If somebody opened the door for you last week, there's no point in going back to say thank you. Okay, but if somebody was instrumental in about maybe getting your son to school, getting him his first job or something, it's even more meaningful to say, hey, listen, you know, the other
5
day,
years ago.
5 years ago, you
yeah,
did
you
this
have
for
my
me,
son.
and I really, really want to say thank you,
Thank you.
because that turned
My
your
son
around or something like that. So it's. I think it depends, as far back as you can remember, but it depends on
What it is.
That the person did. If it was just, you know, if they gave you gas money when you were down to nothing, and you remember, call the person, or, you know. But if it's something that you have to be grateful for everything, but if it's something that, like I said, opening the door, hey,
You can go back to
you
that.
know,
So and so we can sit and pause and look over our lives and see people that we have ignored and we've taken
Yes.
for granted, and things that we have to be thankful for. For all you know, your next door, the next opening of your door is with that Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Probably God used somebody 15 years ago and it's at the point of using that person again, but you haven't showed gratitude, so that connection is gone. Sometimes just showing gratitude keeps the connection going.
Yeah.
So they've forgotten all about you, that you exist, but going to say thanks could remind them of your life.
Life, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's true. And that's true. There's any opportunity you get to revisit some of the people that have helped you along the way, also allow them to know that you are also thriving. You know, because at the end of the day, people want to see success. And even if you are failing, still go back and say thank you.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes people give you advice and you did not listen.
Yeah.
And now, 20 years later, you're suffering for not listening to the advice. Still go back and say, you know what, thank you so much. I knew if I've listened to your advice, I will be a better place. But maybe do you have new advice for me?
Maybe you could get something new
Yes.
to help
yes,
you
because-
along the way.
Yeah, because it gives you a realization that we are blessed and highly favored. How do you show your blessing? God shows the blessings in your life, but do you feel favored?
And to add to the point, it also brings validation in what you've done for people. I remember I went to a party one time. It was the 40th birthday for a friend, and we were all in this room, and this guy walked in. And I can bet about 80% of the people in the room said that he was one person responsible for the changing of their careers. So he was teaching, I think he was teaching Cisco networking. And so he helped a lot of people along the way. He had a school, so most of the people went through his school, and most of them, even their wives, came to say thank you to the guy. So at this party, and about 80% of the people are saying, you are responsible for my success and for the turnaround of my economic status in this country. And, you know, when he got his food and everything, I went to talk to him, man, he teared up. He said, man, I didn't know that all these years that, you know, I had that much impact in people's. And it's not just in their lives, their children's lives.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
The whole family.
the whole family. So it validates you at some point. If he didn't get the thank you years later, he would have thought I didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. I like that, because some thank yous don't work now. Like, for example, just like you said, you help somebody go to school, they say thank you. But then how nice it is when they graduate and they come back to thank you for what you've done. So it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Never
no.
too late.
And it also reflects on the fact that we should keep connected. You know, the mentors in our life, the people that help us, we should keep them connected. So that way, at the end of the day, they will also see our success. And that will motivate them to do more things for people. If you don't see, like if you didn't come to the party and see how 80% of people feel about him, he will not feel like he's connected. He has done something worthwhile. So just please keep in contact. Don't isolate yourself.
Yes, yes. Don't burn your bridges. Once you cross it, don't think you might not need it anymore. Keep it. Keep the bridge alive. Somebody else might need it. So don't burn it.
It may not be you, maybe your children or
Right.
your somebody in the family may need the same
Yeah.
grace. So when it
Exactly.
comes, they may be able to cross.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's good.
So you want to lead us to thank God for a minute?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't take your time.
Yeah, we are definitely being thankful, and
Yeah.
we just want to show God our gratitude and how God is using so many things in our life to make a difference. So of course,
All right. So everybody's going to sing, right?
Okay.
I will listen. I know my limitation.
So thanks.
I give you thanks
for all you have done.
And I am so blessed. My soul is at rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks.
One more time, give you thanks, Lord.
Thanks,
yeah.
thanks.
Oh yes,
I give you thanks
for all
you have done. I am so blessed. My soul has found rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks.
I want to say thank you, Lord.
Thanks, thanks.
Oh yes,
I give you thanks
for all
for all
you
have done.
I am so glad.
I am so blessed.
Oh,
My soul has found rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks.
we thank you, Lord.
We thank you, Lord. We
thank
thank you,
Jehovah
Almighty.
Oh yes,
We thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord. We thank you, Jehovah Almighty.
thank you, Lord.
We thank you, Lord.
Oh,
we thank you.
We thank you, Lord.
We thank you,
Jehovah
Almighty.
We thank you,
We
Lord.
thank you,
Yes, we thank you, Lord.
We thank you, Lord.
Yes,
We thank you, Jehovah Almighty.
Oh, one more time, we
We
thank
thank you, Lord.
Oh,
we thank you, Lord.
Yes,
We thank you, Jehovah Almighty.
thank you, Lord.
We thank you, Lord.
We thank you, Lord.
We thank you,
Jehovah Almighty.
Wow, wonderful. Thank God I
you,
cannot
thank
sing,
you,
so
thank
I thank God in my spirit. But you know, God has given people so many talents. If
Yeah.
yours is the ability to play instrument, play it to glorify God. If it's to
Amen.
sing, sing it to glorify God.
Amen.
And if it's to dance, dance in His presence.
I know you're good with dancing.
Oh, so we thank God for everything that He has
Yes.
done. So, is there some last minute words that you want to tell our viewers?
Thanksgiving, like I said earlier, it connects us to one another. And Thanksgiving is that key, and I said earlier, is the key that opens the door for tomorrow's occurrence. Therefore, never overlook it. It's important. It connects us together. It connects yesterday to tomorrow. It's a mystery. It happens and it works. When you say thank you, it works. How it works, I don't know, but it works. That's what mystery is all about. So it's the key to your tomorrow. It's something little, and you know, God is good. God has given all of us the ability to say thank you. You know, everybody, it's not something that if you don't have money, you can't do. You can always say thank you. So you build that habit. They say that anything you do 17 times starts forming into a habit. You cross over 21 times and it starts forming into an addiction. So just continuously do it for 17 times. If you do 17 times and it doesn't work, don't. Research. But the whole idea is that
Yours may be the
just-
21 times.
Yours may be the 21
Or the 200 times.
200.
Just don't give up. Just
Yes,
don't give
exactly.
up.
So just cultivate that habit. That's all I'm trying to say.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank
And
you
we
for
are
coming.
very grateful to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity to worship God and just to be able to talk about how God has used you in so many ways. So will you tell us about your CD that is out or your music that is out?
Yes, it's a single. They came out last year. And it's on YouTube. Just look for me, Arnold Osei. Facebook, Arnold Osei. On Twitter, Noldus0. On Instagram, Noldus0. Noldus, Noldus. And it's a single that came out last year. It's an encouraging piece of song, very inspirational. Talks about waiting on the Lord. We all go through patches in life where it seems as if God is absent. But then God is always with us. He said, I'll be with you through thick and thin, through the fire, through the water. And so God is there, but sometimes the silence is so deafening that it almost seems as if he's absent, but he is always there. And that's the song. It's a very inspirational song, so check it out. It's on YouTube. Look me up, Arnold Osei on YouTube. It should come up.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It is hard to wait. But remember, the year is coming to an end. So if all your stuff that you've been thinking and planning, God hasn't done it, it doesn't mean God has forgotten. Yeah. God is still in the miracle working business. Yeah. So just trust in him and he'll work things out. Just remember.
Be thankful for the life and all the other things that have happened over the year. Some things that you didn't even ask for. You had a place to sleep.
Yes.
Somehow you had food to eat. You had clothes on your back. You have your right mind. Just be thankful. God will show up at the right time.
Yes. And remember, you are blessed and highly favored.
Favored, yeah. It's not your circumstances. You're blessed. You're favored. Yeah. We would like to thank our sponsors, okay? We are saying thank you from the depths of our hearts.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
This is what you're learning over here. So, Delatech Global, we thank you very much. Delatech Global is into Linus training. Delatech has helped so many people with Linus training to get jobs. So if you're interested, call 443-764-1106. The number again, 443-764-1106. Also, Comfort Realty. If you're looking for a home to buy before the year ends, or you're thinking very soon you want to buy a house, it's good to call Comfort Realty, and they'll be talking to you about the stages, what you need to do, what you need to put in place. So call 301-222-7732. 301-222-7732. These are people who support us. So when you work with them, we get more sponsorship. So please call them. We have Ashon Collections. You can contact Ashon Collections for your supply of electronics and consumer products at 0243 548-925, 0276-380091. The numbers again, 0243-548-925 or 0276-380091, Ashon Collections. Also, contact El Shaddai International Market for all of your food and groceries. El Shaddai International Market. Thanks also to Lean on Jesus Foundation and Ministries. Thank you also for watching us, sharing, and also giving us your views. We thank you very much as the year goes to an end. We are so, so thankful. Please keep watching, keep sharing, keep bringing your ideas on board. God bless you. Over to you.
We also wanted, as we're talking about being thankful, we are going to have a Thanksgiving celebration award ceremony. And this is Adona Radio is having it, hosting it right here.
Right here.
And we are doing the 23rd of November, and it's on Saturday, and it's from 6 to 9. So all are welcome. Come and be participants. Come and be supporters. Come and see us live, in person, as we talk about how God is using us, our vision, and just our mission for the program. And we just really want you to come so that we will be a support. We also want to thank our national head, Apostle Amoku, our regional head, Apostle Samuel, and of course our district pastor, Pastor Evans Borton, of course our technician. They are awesome variable to us. Without them,
our producer.
Yes, and our producers. Without them, we cannot do the program. So thank you so much for our viewers. We just thank you for all the support that you gave us. So
God bless you.
God bless you. So the Moment of Truth team comes on Thursday. The Empowerment team come on Thursday. Until next week, you'll see us again. Thank you so much.
The American dream of owning your own house is a reality now.
Comfort Realty will represent you in selling, leasing, purchasing commercial property or residential in the DMV area. Count on our ability to offer the best in the market. DMV, your American dream. come alive with us. Come, let's talk at 1835 University Boulevard, number 314, Hyattsville, Maryland 20783. Office phone number 301-326-1976. Office fax 301-328-0406. Phone number 301-222-7732.